Hi everyone, welcome back to more mysterious recipes with me and her. And today we are going back to, again, one of our favorite games that also happens to have some of our favorite recipes, which is Danger by Design. Anyway, we're gonna keep it fairly simple today. We have been out and about this morning doing things. We're hungry. We're ready for some food. We want something that's not going to take a really long time to make. So of course we're going to, Cafe Kiki, I believe it was.
I'm not for sure.
And we're getting the classic. The Croque Monsieur.
I was like, what is it called?
The Croque
ham
Monsieur.
sandwich.
We went to the store. We have our ingredients ready. First of all, what we're going to do is we're going to make a cream sauce that goes on the sandwich as the spread. And for that, you're going to need half a cup of milk and half a cup of cream, or you can do 1 cup of half and half depending on whatever you have. Get that heating in a pot to steaming. We're going to use that in our cream sauce. We're going to keep that on like medium to medium low heat while we start the rest of our cream sauce. We're going to use the second pot for that. We got some sneezing going on over there. And we're gonna put 1.5 tablespoons of butter in that and get that melted. In the meantime, the rest of the sandwich isn't going to take super long to prep. Go ahead and heat your oven to 425. We're going to toast the sandwich when it's all assembled in the oven because it's gonna be a little bit messy to try to do that on the stove top. The sandwich also has a side salad on the side. So let's go ahead and make just a simple dressing for that. We're gonna keep it fairly straightforward, but we are going to make that ourselves. We're going to put 1 tablespoon of vinegar in there. You can use whatever kind of vinegar you want. So I would say either red wine vinegar or cider vinegar for this.
You know what that's making me crave?
Or white wine vinegar would be good too. What's that?
Like some fresh bread dipped in red wine vinegar and balsamic.
Then we are also going to add 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of olive oil. That's going to be the base of our dressing, so now we just need to flavor it. Let's get 1 small clove of garlic. If you'll mince up 1 clove of garlic and throw that in, I brought my garlic press, so I'm just going to press that in to avoid extra work and dirty dishes. And our butter is melted, so I'm going to go ahead and put in that 1.5 tablespoons of flour, and we're going to whisk that consistently. Like we did for the gumbo recipe before, we're going to cook the flour and butter together just to form a simple roux. But we're not going to cook this for as long as we did for that gumbo one by any means. Negative. We're just going to let that cook for 2 or 3 minutes to get rid of that raw flour flavor to it. Our flour and butter mixture has been going for a minute. It's bubbling nicely. We're now going to add our milk mixture to that. We've warmed it up. Basically, we just want we don't want to be adding cold milk and cream to it. And then we're also going to add a little bit of salt and some ground pepper, as well as a dash of nutmeg to that.
A dash of nutmeg?
We'll continue cooking that and whisking it frequently for the next few minutes until it thickens up into a sauce. So back to the salad dressing. We've got our garlic, our vinegar, our olive oil. We're also going to add some salt and pepper to that. And we're going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of each onion and garlic powder just to give it a little bit more flavor. And we're gonna add about a teaspoon of honey. That doesn't have to be exact, we just wanna give it a little bit of flavor.
I am on the
The honey is optional.
and sweetness savory.
You don't have to put the full teaspoon if you don't want to,
I
but
didn't.
let's add a tiny bit.
I didn't. And then Dijon.
Yes, we're gonna add about a teaspoon of Dijon. And then we'll just let that dressing sit while we finish assembling everything outside. The onion powder, the garlic powder, and the garlic itself can kind of can have their flavors blend in with everything else. That looks good. It's so nice.
Beautiful.
And sauce like that is.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we're gonna take that off the heat and set it aside while we prep our sandwich. Gonna let it cool off just a tiny bit before we use it.
Just a smidge.
Another thing that the recipes were saying is that if you want to save time in the moment of is you can make this cream sauce in advance, put it in the fridge just to use the next day. Just if you do put it in the fridge, let it cool a little bit first and then press a piece of plastic wrap onto the surface of the sauce before you put it in the fridge so you don't develop like that skin that milk flour sauces tend to develop once they cool down.
It's not very tasty, if it does. For cheese.
So as far as cheeses go, we are trying to be authentic as we can, but our cheese options are a little limited with our local grocery stores.
The small town life.
But we did manage to get our hands on a block of Gruyere. Gruyere?
Sure.
I've never bothered looking up how to pronounce that one.
Let's say it like that.
So we're going to use this both in the sandwich and on top of the sandwich. So we're gonna shred some for on top of it. For in it, it's up to you if you want to slice or shred what's going inside the sandwich too. I figured I would slice it just so it'll be...
more symmetric.
Yeah, well I figured I was gonna slice it because... So
Just
most
go
of the
along
recipes
with
are
it.
just sticking to like one cheese on the inside. But a couple of the recipes did a combination of Gruyere and Swiss. So I did bring some Swiss, which was sliced. That's up to you if you want to do it that way or not. We might do one sandwich that way, one without. So I think I'm gonna slice part of this and then
do both.
shred the
I
rest.
say do both.
Do both?
Yeah.
We love grilled cheeses with multiple cheese,
Variety is the spice of life, y'all.
but we couldn't find sliced Gruyere, so let's go ahead and grate the rest of this just because it's it's a thin enough block.
We
it's
do
kinda
want
hard
an
to do.
overhead angle for
Yeah,
us,
so we'll just wait.
The cheesilies. I hate grating cheese. It's like, sorry, my kryptonite.
Oh goodness.
It's what will kill me one day.
Well, as my mug says, you really should embrace your chaos.
Well,
Or
this is
kryptonite in this case.
not my chaos.
How do you know shredding cheese isn't your chaos?
I just do.
The side of the mug doesn't say anything.
No, that side's just boring. Do you want to show them my mug that I got at the Viking Festival?
Pretty colors.
Show them my pretty little mug. So we went to a Viking festival a few weeks ago.
Which is part of the reason why we haven't shot a video in a while. Prepping outfits for that was extremely time consuming and
She is the artistic person in the family, and she had her work cut out for all.
that was my project for the last 2 months. So if we've been MIA, it's because we've been up to other things.
So this is a little mug that I
Cute.
got at the event. Got it with some
Very
little
cute.
honey in it. It was very cute.
But it was a super fun event.
It was. It was very cold that day though, and
A little too cold.
like
She was in short sleeves.
dressed up as Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon, and I was freezing. Let's just leave it like that.
I was in long sleeves and I was still freezing. It had been pouring rain that week in general. The ground was muddy. My boots were, I had these really soft boots and they were getting soaked through as I walked through all these icy puddles. The wind was howling and the clouds were
It was very
overcast.
appropriate Viking weather.
It was great Viking weather, but we did not dress appropriately.
No, we didn't.
Mercifully, we did not get sick. So while we spent the first part of the year sick, we didn't get sick from that. So yay! Woo! So for the sake of today, we're using 3 cheeses total. The Gruyere,
galore.
the Swiss because we want to try the combination of the two, although that's not as authentic. I'm sure there are some cafes somewhere doing a combination of cheeses in their Croque Monsieur. And then we also have some shredded Parmesan that we're going to sprinkle on top when we put it in the oven. Now it is time for assembly. We're going to need to go ahead and get a baking dish ready.
Okay.
And go ahead and plan to line that with either foil or parchment paper or something, because I feel like this might make a bit of a mess in your pan. I mean, you don't have to, but it will save you a cleanup headache. We're gonna just use a nice size, nice quality sliced white sandwich bread. We're using sourdough, which is what most of the recipes we were looking at recommended. I did see a recipe say you could use like the nice sliced brioche or ciabatta rolls. All of that sounded great.
I actually have some ciabatta rolls right now.
I thought about getting ciabatta rolls, but it was definitely sliced white bread in the picture. So
Yes.
for today we're using that, but for future, we might-
I love ciabatta rolls. I think they're like the best bread ever. I just love to toast them.
They're
and
so
coat them
good.
in butter.
We're gonna go ahead and put sauce on all the slices, but then we're gonna set 2 of the slices aside to serve as the top. Let's do one with just Gruyere and then one with Gruyere and Swiss. Just as a like,
We're each getting our own sandwich.
well, we can do, we each get half of each sandwich. That way we have a control.
I think we should do both.
I think we should do one with, one without.
Why? It's delicious cheese.
Well, that way we have a control. We're doing one that's more authentic and one that's more of a let's test this out and see how we like it. So either way, we're putting Gruyere on both of these. And then we've got our ham. So I wanted thick slices of ham for this. So I got it from the deli, but you can use whatever sandwich ham. But I wanted thick slice, so I went to the deli and I asked them for the number 6 thickness.
That looks delicious.
So that's, focus please. So that's how that is. I wanted something good sized, good thickness. Something that's a sandwich you can really sink your teeth into.
Oh my word, this looks amazing.
So let's put 1 slice on each of these sandwiches.
Whoa, look at that ham slice.
Maybe I should have got larger slices of bread.
Oh my,
We can always trim it down.
I'm so happy right now.
You should be. That's $5 worth of ham right there. It was $10 for 4 slices, which is ridiculous if you ask me.
No,
Want
we're
to trim
supposed to
that
put
down
the
a little?
Dijon on first. No, it's beautiful. Let's just spread the ham with the Dijon. We're supposed to put it on both the ham
Well,
and the
you
cheese.
can't really spread Dijon on shredded cheese.
Whoa.
So we're gonna put a little Dijon on this. Yeah, that should be a pretty good amount. We're gonna spread that on there and then we're gonna top it with more cheese. Let me get our butter knife again. We'll top it with Swiss on that one, and on this other we still want another layer of cheese, so we're gonna put the shredded, but not all of it because we want to save some for the top. So I'll point the Swiss toward the side.
Okay, add the rest of the sauce.
Okay, just on top. Delicious.
Lots of sauce. You want it to be a saucy sandwich.
Saucy sandwich.
And then we're going to top with
We're gonna
more
add
of
the
Gruyere cheese and some.
And then probably about a
Parmesan.
tablespoon and a half of shredded Parmesan on each one. You measure it with your heart when it comes to cheese. So,
What is your heart telling you?
all
about
of the
this
cheese. That's what my heart is telling me. And now we have these beautiful sandwiches. We're gonna pop those in the oven
Yes,
at
for
425
5 to 6 minutes.
until it looks like the cheese is starting to melt, and then we're gonna switch it to broil to get it toasted.
My lady.
Maybe we should have like sprayed the foil underneath the sandwich just so the bottom crisps up a bit better, but I didn't do that and it'll be fine. There's one other thing we need to prep, which is we got some chives. The recipe, definitely the picture has sliced chives sprinkled on top of the sandwich, so we're just gonna mince some of
Now,
those up.
Emily, can you tell us the difference between chives and like green onions?
Chives have like a lighter onion flavor. They're a little more mild of a flavor.
Alright, Emmy, anything else exciting you want to tell them that you've done since you last saw them?
Since I last saw them, what have I done? I haven't done that. I know I've done things, I just can't think of them in the moment.
I personally went to a concert by my favorite artist
You did?
ever, Owl City.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It was a dream come true.
He did
She-
not call her up on the stage to help perform with me, sadly.
Well, that would have been a little strange.
Well, that would have been like the dream concert experience.
No, I would be
Not in your case.
terrified. I do not want to go on stage and sing in front of a bunch of people.
So-
All right, our sandwich is out of the oven.
So this is the standard with just the Gruyere and the Parmesan sprinkled on top. No Swiss on this one.
It looks amazing. I'm
got it
ready
dusted
to
over there.
shove it in my face.
Another fork.
All right, let us eat.
Time to try. I fully expect this to be amazing.
I fully expect it to be amazing.
It is very
too.
messy. I feel like this would be almost easier to eat with a fork and knife.
Yeah, you probably eat this with a fork and knife.
Mm.
Mm. This
I can feel
is
my body
delicious.
just calming right down.
Mm.
Tasteful. So I am definitely glad this has the Dijon in it. That was the perfect amount.
Yes.
Because it's definitely a good background note without being
I don't know how to
overpowering.
eat this.
The top is nice and soft, but the bottom, as you can tell, has a little bit of crispness to it. So it's soft and slightly crispy at the same time. The texture is nice. I'm definitely glad that we went with the thicker ham on this,
Yes.
because while you could just use a thinner cut of ham and put more of it on there, texturally that's just the right thickness for like a nice bite into it.
It's like the perfect bite to it. And your bread's a little bit softer from the sauce, so I think you can eat that bite.
I think the last of that I'm going to eat with fork and knife, because the smaller the piece gets, the harder it is to hold everything together.
It is so delicious though. Like, I mean, Dijon and ham, you already
I
know.
love Dijon.
It's a delicious combo. And then you just add a ton of cheese to it, and some nice sourdough bread, and everything just complements each other so well.
Honestly, I'm glad with this sandwich being such a statement piece that it is such a simple salad on the side.
It just gives you that little bit of freshness to cut through
A nice
all that
light crunch.
cheese.
I feel like any other dressing would have probably been too much with the sandwich too. This is definitely a sandwich that you will want to eat right away when it's ready, so that it doesn't get soggy with all of the sauce. But as long as you have the time to sit down and eat it immediately, so good. So we baked for right at 6 minutes, and the cheese was melted then, and then broiled for about 2.5 to 3 minutes. But definitely keep a very close eye on it when you're broiling it, because it'll very quickly turn from perfectly little golden spots on top to
burn.
Especially with your broiling cheese.
Yes, so
That will turn immediately.
You need to be standing in front of your oven just watching it. It's really good.
This is definitely a massive sandwich, so definitely eat it either while you're starving or split it with someone. But we do still have to at least taste the one with Swiss as well, just to compare flavors.
As for assembling the salad, we just put some mixed greens, some spring mix, and just poured the dressing over top. I like it. Almost not sweet, but like a sweeter. I don't know, it just has more flavor.
I wouldn't say that I like it more than the original version, but I like it as much at least. I think the Dijon stands out a little bit more in the first one.
I think so too.
The Swiss, since it has a little bit of a stronger flavor. You still taste the Dijon, but it's not as much of the forefront flavor. And I just got a little bit of dressing on my bread there. That was really good, so I'm going to do that on purpose to this piece. That toasty bit of bottom bread dipped in some of the dressing. Really good. Hey, do you have any final thoughts before we continue stuffing our faces off camera? I like it a lot. I know we say this constantly, but definitely one of my favorite recipes we've done so far. I keep getting new favorites.
I definitely do have like a top 3 out of all the recipes I made, and this would at least be in the top 5. It's really good. Maybe it's just because I was very, very hungry.
But it's definitely a top 10 out of the ones that we've done. I don't know for sure where I would rank it on the top 10. It would probably depend on what I'm craving that day. But it's very good.
If you want to take your grilled cheese up a notch.
And I mean, honestly, with doing it in the oven, the toasting, it's an easier grilled cheese to make a lot of for multiple people at the same time.
Delicious. Have your cup of coffee on the side and enjoy.
I definitely think after a long, exhausting day of detectiving, or like honestly a long, exhausting day of anything, this would be the amazing way to wind down.
Alright, well, we will see y'all next time, and I hope y'all can try this recipe out and enjoy it as much as we did.
As always, feel free to comment down below if you have any recipes that we haven't done yet that you really want to see us try.
And as soon as they drop the release date for the new game, you better believe we will be filming a recipe video for it. Whenever that does happen.
We anticipate it to be a coffee drink of some sort, but we would love to see some food items too.
We would.
Please make your little notes here interactive. Y'all haven't released it yet. You've still got time to add that in there. Slip in a little something for us. Maybe some more muffins. Muffins would be great.
Or like a Danish or something. I could go for a Danish.
Some sort of pastry. We really haven't done any pastries, have we?
We've done
cookies. We've done muffins.
Cookies and muffins. Yeah, that's about it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Enjoy your delicious meal. As we know you're going to, once you finish watching this video, we know you're going straight to the store to buy all this stuff. And as you should, it's amazing. It is. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Mystery time. There's a mystery. This young man is playing with our lights today. If our lighting is wobbly, this is why.
Clover. Even the opera with me.